One question that I get asked often is, how much does it cost to buy a house in Fort Wayne? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm gonna go over that. Hey everybody, my name is Brough. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I talk all about what it's like to live, work, play, eat, sleep in the Fort Wayne area. And if you are thinking about moving to Fort Wayne, make sure to watch the rest of my videos and reach out to me. If I can be a resource for you in the world of real estate, you can call, text, email, or comment on one of these videos. So let's get right to it. So guys, I am actually out visiting one of the properties that we are rehabbing for one of our seller clients today. And I thought that this would be a great example for this video because this is an average house in Fort Wayne. So our average sale price is like $185, $190 around there. And this is that. This house is probably gonna be on the market in a few weeks for $185,000, $190,000, somewhere around there. It's a 3-bed, 2 full bath home. It's 1,800 square feet. And sorry, it's windy out here. And let's go take a look and talk outside the wind. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to take a look at when you are thinking about buying a house in Fort Wayne or anywhere is how much available funds do you have for the purchase, of course. So if the average price in Fort Wayne is $185,000, then you're gonna need $185,000 to buy the house. That's it, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. First, let's talk about your down payment. Assuming you're not paying cash for the home, you're getting a mortgage financing, you're going to need to have some money set aside for the down payment of the purchase. So contrary to what some people believe, you do not have to have 20% down to purchase a home. In fact, I would say most of the time, really in all price ranges, people are putting down less than 20%. So you can go as little as 0% down. There are some first-time buyer programs available throughout the country at different times. I don't know any that are available in Fort Wayne at this time, so I would not count on that. We saw a lot of those programs. There were more of them when the market was in favor towards the buyer, where it was harder to get financing. So we don't see a lot of zero down loans, but you can get a conventional loan for as little as 3% down. It will require you to have pretty decent credit. But I would say the typical low down payment amount for a conventional loan would be 5% down. So 5% of the sale price. So in a house like this, for example, you're looking at about $9,700 for your down payment if you're gonna put 5% down. If you're going to put 20% down, that's where you can avoid paying for PMI, private mortgage insurance. Then you are looking at about $37,000 for your down payment on the purchase of a house that is just like this. And by the way, this house, we just got it painted. We're gonna get flooring next, got some new nice light fixtures in. Really excited to get this on the market. It's in a good spot, and I believe that people are gonna like this house. So you could also get an FHA loan, which requires a down payment for as little as 3.5% of the purchase price. You can get a USDA loan or a VA loan that requires 0% of a down payment, but they are government insured loans, and sometimes those types of loans make it a little bit more difficult to purchase a house, especially when you're competing with other buyers. But they are options for you. One thing to keep in mind if you're going to be getting a USDA loan is that this loan is for rural properties, so it would not be applicable for a house in the city like this. Another expense that you'll want to budget for when buying a house in Fort Wayne is going to be your closing costs. So your closing costs are the costs associated with getting your loan and then closing on the deal. And for a house like this, your closing costs are going to be about $2,500. That's going to include your funding fee or origination fee. It's the fee that the lending institution charges as part of their fee structure. And then there are some miscellaneous closing fees that the title company will charge. There is typically a broker transaction fee anywhere from probably $200 to $500 in our market, which I've seen is pretty common. And you'll split the title closing fee 50-50 traditionally with the seller. So that's going to be about $200 to $250. So all in, it's about $2,500 of closing costs in order to close a real estate purchase in this price range when you're getting a loan. One thing to note with closing costs is that you can actually have the seller pay for your closing costs. So you can negotiate that with the seller. You cannot negotiate for the seller to pay any part of your down payment, but closing costs you can. But one caveat to that, yes, you can have the seller pay for it, but when you're competing with other offers, typically the offers that are not asking the seller to pay for the closing costs are the ones that actually get the house. When your offer gets accepted, you are then going to have to write a check for the earnest money. And the earnest money sits in escrow until closing. It actually gets applied to your down payment. So in this market, for a house in this price range, we're typically seeing earnest money be about $1,000. The more that you give, the stronger your offer is, and the less that you give, the weaker your offer is. So $1,000 is what I would budget for a house in this price range, and you would get your earnest money back for any reason other than you just can't decide that you like a different house and leave the seller kind of like in a lurch. The next thing that you're going to budget for is your home inspection. So shortly after you have an accepted offer, that's when you're going to want to schedule your home inspection. So we recommend that you have a general home inspection done, and this is by a traditional licensed home inspector. And for a house this size, it'll cost around $400 for that. You can also decide if you want to do some more specialized inspections like radon, water testing, mold, anything like that. And then, of course, there's fees associated with that. So I would budget for, if you're going to have an inspection done, at least $400 to $500 for a house in this size. They actually charge you by the size of the home, nothing else, no other characteristics, stuff like that. So you do not have to get a home inspection. It's recommended that you do. And this cost is not what is included in the closing costs that we talked about earlier. This fee is actually paid for upfront. So at the time of the home inspection, that's when you'll pay this to the inspection company. The next thing that you're going to want to consider is the length of the loan. Most often people get a 30-year mortgage. That's that's the vast majority of people. Some people choose to get a 15-year mortgage. You can even get a 10 or maybe even less than that. Based upon what I've seen in the last year or so with these low interest rates, is that people who were considering doing a 15-year mortgage just to pay less interest overall through the life of the loan, and so they can pay it down quicker, they're choosing instead to get a 30-year loan and opting for making double payments each month. But if there's ever a month where you want to put that money somewhere else, you can always just fall back on your normal monthly payment, which on a 30-year, which is nice, is going to be considerably less than a 15-year. Now, this doesn't affect your funds needed to close or your down payment. It just it's something to think about as you are securing your loan and getting that finalized. This can be done after your offer gets accepted. The next thing that you're going to want to consider are your moving expenses. So depending on how far you're moving and how much stuff you have, this cost can vary greatly, but you're looking at a few $1,000s up to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how much stuff you have. So guys, I hope that information was helpful. Just to recap, To purchase a home in this price range, around $185,000 in Fort Wayne, you're looking at a total amount of money, spending on the purchase to be about $10,000 to $15,000. And you can then secure a home and start enjoying these great interest rates and appreciation that we have going on right now. If there's anything I can do to help you, please reach out to me. Nothing makes me more excited than when I get some communication from somebody who's thinking about moving into my great city. By the way, one thing that I really like about this house is this solarium, and this faces southwest, so it's gonna get a ton of sun. It's a beautiful little room, and you can make this little office, little den. These types of features are really popular in this area. We're in Forces 805 neighborhood. I actually did a video on this area, so look that up if you want to see more houses like this. But this kitchen, we're gonna run the vinyl through here, lay it over this old tile. This was actually a porch. You can see where the hardwood floor stopped. They also put an addition on the back. So this house, when it was built, was probably a 1,300 square foot, 3-bed, 1-bath home. You can make a little mudroom area here with access to this little patio area. And what's really not common in this neighborhood is an attached garage. So not gonna find this very often, simply because they didn't build houses with attached garages. They typically built them with smaller, like 1-car detached. So we don't have much of a backyard. We've got this side yard over here where I showed you where the patio was, but that's about it.